This program is brought to you by Telecom Limited and Colgate.
Hi Papua New Guinea and welcome to another episode on House and Home. I hope you all had a great weekend, which turned out to be an eventful one as there were so much activities that had taken place over the weekend. For instance, there was the PM's 13 that was played over at the NFS fields where we saw the Australian and the Papua New Guineans take on each other for the PM's 13 game. There were many supporters out there who were only there to support their fans, who were Australians, and the prideful Papua New Guineans that supported their team, Papua New Guinea. We also had the Vocal Fusion Season 10 Grand Final, which we are yet to hear who was there to win, or the names have been out already. To the winners of the Vocal Fusion Season 10, good on you and hope you put into good use all the grand prizes that you have won over the weekend. Mine was a restful one as I had to do some housework and also not forgetting all the laundry that were piled up over the week that had to be done over the weekend. Before we get all into everything that we have for the rundown for this episode, I'd like to bring to our attention that it's the dry season. During the day, there's so much dust. So remember, if you're going out and about, make sure to carry yourself a mask or a handkerchief and a bottle of water to keep hydrated and away from dust as well. In the evenings, it's very cold and windy, so be sure to carry yourself a sweater or a neck warmer to keep yourself warm on your way home from work, from school, or from whatever that you've been doing for the day. For our lineup for this episode, we will have a pick a book of the month, which is Declutter Your Mind, a Tawana men's shirt sewn by a lady over at Gordon's 5 who shows us how to sew a men's Tawana shirt. Then we have the handy tips, and of course, to end our show is a do-it-yourself project by a lady who lives at Gerehu Stage 1 who will show us how to do a purse using recycled packets. First up on our show is the pick a book of the month, and the book that I've decided to share with us today or make a review of is Declutter Your Mind. Declutter Your Mind is a book that is about how we can stop worrying, relieve anxiety, and the negative thinking that clutters our mind. First, you'll be wondering, Daisy, what is decluttering your mind? Well, you know when you start thinking about some of the good things and then you get to relive what had happened to you from the past? Well, this book here can really help you, and from experience, I can tell you that I can recommend you this book. It has helped me one way or another. One thing I can point out from the book that I've read, which is Declutter Your Mind, is that having to reshape your mindset. And this book was written by two of the renowned psychologists from America, and that is S.J. Scott and Barry Davenport. They were known to have written more than 30 books about self-help care and also the self-improvement genre of books. One of the books that have brought S.J. Scott to being one of the best authors is Habit Stacking, that you can find on Amazon, or you can also get from your Kindle if you are one that reads offline. Or maybe check out some of the bookstores near you. And I can also suggest that you check out a bookshelf over at Vision City where you find some of the self-help care books sold out there. So my take on this declutter your mind is how you can minimize mind overload or negative thoughts. Many people follow what the authors of self-help books get to show us or tell us in their books, which can be meditating, yoga, or whatever that is science-backed. But not everyone heals the same way, if I may say. Many people have their own way of moving past depression, and others get so upset that they turn to hurt themselves. I'm not saying that you can be one of those persons who will do self-destructions or hurt yourself. What I'm trying to get at is that this book is able to help an individual change or reshape their mindset. Because remember, our mind is a very powerful tool. And if you don't have a positive outlook to life, then you are already developing that self-destruction within yourself. Change can only happen if you are positive. And I know many of you out there will agree with me, because we all go through life and our ups and downs in life in so many different ways, and we get out from them with whatever little that we have in us. And that is the willpower. In the book, Declutter Your Mind talks about willpower, of how overthinking can overload your brain cells and making you see yourself in a negative way. So I strongly recommend that you get to read this book, and it may help you just the way it has helped me. So remember that the books that you read must have a positive impact to you as a person and to your family. Because at House and Home, we are all about a family unit and thinking and loving each other one way or another with positivity. Wow, I didn't think that I'd motivate myself by doing a book review on the Pick a Book of the Month, which was on Declutter Your Mind. But I just really motivated myself, and I think I will make it my business to go out there and find those self-help books, and I believe you will also do that. We'll take a short break, and when we return is a sewing with ladies over at Gordon's 5 on how to sew a Tawana men's shirt. Stay with us, you're watching House and Home. Welcome back. You're watching House and Home. I'm Daisy, and now we will go on to Gordon's 5 and see what this lady Sumina Jalina has for us with her sewing of men's Tawana shirt. Hope you enjoy.
To sew a men's shirt, we use a pattern, okay? We have back pattern of the shirt and the front pattern of the shirt and also the sleeve. Okay, next step here is I'm gonna cut this off. So I've cut out the back pattern of the shirt, as you can see here. Okay, so I'll remove the pattern down, and I'll show you the fabric. Okay, so this is the back pattern of a male shirt. Okay. Okay, second, I'm cutting the front pattern of the male shirt. Okay, so before we cut the back pattern of the male shirt, I mentioned something about this 2 inches out. Okay, when I cut the back pattern, I mentioned that this 2 inches has to be fold back. And then we put the fold part onto the fold part of the fabric. Okay, right now we are using the front pattern. We are not going to fold the 2 inch. Okay, so we'll open up the 2 inch, and then we put on the open side of the fabric, meaning the cut one. So here I'll measure again. The measurement for the length shirt was 31 inches. Always give allowance when you are cutting. We'll cut the sleeve of this shirt out, okay? What I'm holding here is the male sleeve pattern. This is the sleeve pattern. You will need 2 pieces to cut out the sleeve because we have 2 sleeves for one right and one for the left. When you're putting the pattern on the fabric, you need to give allowance, okay? You need to give allowance for the sleeve. One way or the other, we are avoiding the shirt not to be tight, okay, and not to be loose. So we are sewing a perfect shirt. Right now, we cannot cut the collar out because the shirt is still here. We need to sew the pieces together, and then we'll create the collar out of the complete shirt. Okay, right now I'm gonna overlock the edge of the sleeve, okay? Right now I'm sewing the sleeve. You may ask why I have this crease on the sleeve of the shirt. Okay, the reason why is when I join the back part and the front part together, I'll put the sleeve on the shoulder part of the shirt when it is joined already. So now I'm joining the parts, okay? I'm putting the front pattern to the back pattern, okay? I'm joining it now. Okay, one out. Okay, the other part of the front pattern, joining it to the back pattern. Okay. Okay. After joining the 2 parts, the front pattern to the back pattern, you see the hems here? Okay, we need to get rid of the hem by overlocking. That's the join there. So what I'll do here, I'm gonna join the sleeve to the shoulder. Okay, that's the join there. And where the crease is, the mark that I cut, the midpoint, okay, put it on the shoulder. Okay, to have a perfect join on the shoulder part, you need to sew one side first. I've joined the sleeves here, as you can see from the inside, and that's the outside part of it. Okay, what I'll do here, because we have the hems hanging out, we'll use the overlock machine to overlock the edges. So your shirt will be a quality looking shirt when you use the overlock. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is to join the sides of the shirt, okay? That's the shirt there, that's the front pattern. This is the shirt that I have been sewing. The pieces are sewn together, okay? So I mentioned something about collar. You measure the shoulder, the neck, and then you get the measurement, you multiply by 2, and then you create the collar. This is how you insert the collar, okay? As you can see the smooth part here, inside we have this interfacing. This is called the interfacing, okay? That's inside the collar. So this is the complete product of the men's shirt, okay? As you can see here, there's sleeves, collar, buttons there, buttonholes. That's the back part of the shirt, okay? And the front pattern of the shirt, okay? So you want me to sew your shirt, you come to Gordon's 5, Kelly Vartowo or Kelly Moses resident, to Gordon's 5, and you look for us here. So we'll sew you a beautiful shirt, okay? Apart from the male shirt, we also sewing dresses, ladies shirt also with the dots, okay? We are sewing different garments here. I'm Sumina. Thank you for watching House and Home.
In these handy tips with Colgate-Palmolive's product, the Axion, I will be showing us a little hack on how to crochet without a crocheting hook. And all you need is a ball of yarn and your fingers. So here it is.
House and Home handy tips with Axion, the tough grease stripper.
If you are one person who'd like to get creative with a yarn or a wool, but do not know how to crochet using a hook, I got just what to show you, and you can come up with everything and anything that you'd like to crochet, but not with a hook. So, first of all, you will need to do this. So by tightening this around your thumb, you get the loose yarn and put it around your finger, just like this. So you do this and over. You repeat that again, pull it tight, repeat that again. So once you get to pull the beginning of it, which becomes the end of it, and it tightens, it will give you this woven or knitted look. You can go on and on, a repetition of the same process, which is this, and make it as long as you want, because you can end up making a neck warmer or a scarf. I will show you how this looks like when you've reached a length that you can use as a neck warmer or a scarf. Once you reach a length that you want, with just crocheting with your fingers, you'll come up to a length that you personally agree on and can be a neck warmer, which I've made mine. So roll it around to the size of your neck and push it through.
House and Home handy tips with Axion, the tough grease stripper.
That is just a handy tip on how you can crochet just with your fingers and not a hassle of a hook. So I've made myself a neck warmer. I can make it more longer or thicker. You're watching House and Home. Now we get to see what Thelma has to show us, and that is the do-it-yourself or DIY project on how to make a purse using recyclable packets.
I am Thelma from Motlok Island in the Autonomous Region of Bougainville. I have been in this business of package recycling for almost 7 years now. Today, I will be happy to show you pieces or bags out of recycled packets. So to start off with, I cut off these empty packets. You do that to the rest of the other packets, whether it be omo packets, noodles packets. There are varieties of household items where you miss a buy store. So you continue cutting them out. So when you have a measurement that is cut off from a cardboard or anything that is hard, you place it on your open product here. You place it on the open packet and you start cutting. So this is what you do to all the other packets that you have cut open. After cutting everything, you will start folding them together. So this is how you fold it. You fold it into half and then fold the other half in, and then fold the other half in. When you are done with the other half, then you fold the other half in. And then you fold it all together. So this is what you get after you fold your cutting together. And then you have to fold it in half again to make it equal. So this is what you get after folding it together. And then you do the same thing to others. You now put one of the other piece into the other. When you have thread everything, you will come up with one long strip like this. It has been put together. You have to join it so you can show it now into a piece. It's like this, it's called a strip. But when it is joined, it becomes a bangle. So to join them together, you have to put this lock where it is locked in between these two opened sides. You have to put these two bangles together. So the thread cannot be seen in most cases because of how you fold. When you fold, they have to be equal because the thread has to go in and then it has to come out to the other. It's just a matter of holding these two together. What I will do now is to sew the zipper on. Sewing it with your needle and your wool. So this is how you do it. It has to be placed inside, and then the needle has to push from inside to the other side. So the thread hides in between all the folds. So now I am going to close the bottom of this little piece here. All you have to do is fold in the corners and have one side to go over it. You create a triangle. So you just fold them in place and start sewing them until you come up to the other end. So this is the finished product. My name is Thelma. Thank you for watching House and Home.
If you would like to have something to accessorize all your trendy fashions, you can find Thelma's products also at JJS Sales that happens to sell every Thursdays to Sundays at the Meat House, Waigani. Or you can find JJS Sales on Facebook and place your order for some of these very creative products. That is all for this episode. From the hardworking team of Haus and Home and I, we wish you all a very pleasant viewing, and may the remainder of this week and the weeks ahead be a productive one for you and your loved ones. I'm Daisy, and I hope you get to join us again every Tuesday at 7 p.m. only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
This program was brought to you by Telecom Limited and Colgate.